This Allen's hummingbird female is building her first nest near where she was born last year. She started scouting for suitable locations in December and finally chose a thin branch on a hibiscus tree, safe from predators. Spider silk and plant materials form the base of the nest, and she keeps adding hairs, white fly cotton, coconut coir from a hanging basket, and materials from an old nest to her building project. She ties it together with spider silk that also anchors and secures the nest to the branch. The rim and the bottom of the nest get padded with whitish downy material. She packs down the materials with her feet and creates the right nest shape by wiggling her body. She sits on the nest before laying eggs to practice incubating. The process lasts for 3 weeks. The female lays 2 eggs. Her first egg appears on January 21st, and the second one 2 days later. The eggs hatch after incubating for 17 days in cold and mostly stormy weather. A big leaf above the nest works as a roof, so the tiny hatchlings stay dry even when the mom leaves the nest to get food every 5 to 10 minutes. She only stays away for a minute or two because the babies, which look like coffee beans at this stage, can't generate their body heat. The mom keeps sitting on top of them, keeping them warm for up to 2 weeks. She feeds the hatchlings every other time when she comes back and snatches tiny insects from the air and whitefly eggs from under the hibiscus leaves for a nutritious protein shake. The babies are hard to see at this point since they lie on the bottom of the deep nest cup. The nestlings grow fast. They start to develop stringy soft down on their black bodies, which resemble tufts discovered on some dinosaur fossils, hence the name Dino Fuzz age. They are still blind, but already manage to shimmy their butts toward the outer edge of the nest and squirt their excrement far away 4 days after hatching. The black poop sprinkles usually land on a nearby leaf. The power of that tiny body is remarkable. The babies are sleeping for most of the time, but are also actively moving inside the nest and lifting their bills even when mom is gone, which she does more and more as her offspring grows. They reach the bobblehead age 8 days after hatching, swinging their heads in the air when the mom arrives. She inserts her bill down the throat of the hatchling and empties her stomach contents, which look rather rough. She is not sitting on the chicks during the daytime anymore, except for a second or two after feeding. The little hummingbirds start showing white filaments running on their backs and heads. Their eyes open, but not fully for a few days. Feathers are forming in their wings, and tails are developing as well. They look more and more like birds instead of dinosaurs. Because feathers on the back of their heads and under the chin are last to emerge, it can look like the chicks have bald spots or deformities. Both are scratching their heads and necks to help unsheathe the feathers. When the mom comes to feed them, she always makes sure there are no dangers around before starting to deliver the food. Flight training starts on day 15 and their eyes fully open on day 17. The daily schedule at the feather duster age is eating, flight training, pooping, sleeping, and repeating. Training and strengthening their wings take a lot of energy and effort, so they do it sparingly at first. Fluffy, multicolored feathers with a lot of rufous erupt all over their bodies. Lots of scratching is going on. They are becoming quite active and staying awake for longer. Besides pooping, hummingbirds also pee. They are one of the few bird species that pee because of their mostly liquid diet. Hummingbirds have specialized kidneys that extract and retain all the sugar content from nectar, and the excess water is expelled as urine. The nestlings start to resemble miniature adult birds with their colors, but have shorter bills and tails. They are very restless and mobile, doing flight training and sword fighting with their bills. They have outgrown the nest. Both don't completely fit in there unless they are partially on top of each other. The older one, which is usually a female, sits on the side of the nest a lot, stretches her neck to reach further out, and explores the branch with her bill and tongue. She loses her balance often, nearly falling. Both are actively observing their surroundings, learning about the new world that is waiting for them. The older fledgling gets airborne during flight training and flies from the nest further on the same branch, but wobbles her way back to the nest. The younger one, usually a male, looks surprised as if asking her to come back. They are communicating with each other during her exploration. After the ordeal, both snuggle in the nest. After another feeding, they both fly on the branch. It is a rainy day, and they take sips of water droplets forming on the leaves during their outing. They are not quite ready yet to leave and return to the nest. This back and forth happens several times. They exhibit playful juvenile behavior, pretending to feed each other, and they also poke each other with their beaks. When they finally take off for good, the older bird flies into the nest where her mom was born and sits there for a while. It takes some time for the mom to realize that her offspring have left the nest. The pair stays huddled together for a few days, preening and puffing up on nearby branches. They keep close track of each other for safety. The mom still feeds them for about 2 weeks and listens to their calls to locate them in the trees.